And now to our guest speaker, Dr. Charles Welch, President of the American Association of State Colleges and University. Dr. Welch is a first-generation college student and the first member of his extended family to receive an advanced degree. He received a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science from the University of Arkansas, a Master of Arts in Political Management from the George Washington University, and a Doctorate in Higher Education Administration from the University at Little Rock. Dr. Welch became the 7th president of ASCU in January 2024. Prior, he served as president of the Arkansas State University System, where he led the state's second largest higher education system. He is also the past president of Henderson State University. Dr. Welch has deep ties to ASCU, having led 2 ASCU member institutions and has served as the chair of the ASCU Board of Directors twice, from 2019 to 2021. He co-chaired ASCU's Presidential Post-Secondary Value Commission Task Force. He was also actively engaged in ASCU's New President's Academy, an Emerging Leaders Program, serving as an executive sponsor for both initiatives. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Chuck Welch.
Thank you, Dr. Patterson. I appreciate that kind introduction, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here today. I was a college and university president for 20 years, and during that 20 years, there were many days that were hard, that were difficult, but I always knew that if I could just make it through those days, I could make it to this day. Literally the most rewarding day for anybody that works in higher education as we see the product of our work and we rejoice in the rewards of these students having these opportunities. And these have been hard days for our faculty and staff. There's a lot of people questioning the value of higher education, if what we do is right. Faculty and staff, I want you to know it is a noble profession. We are doing good work. We are literally transforming lives, and don't let anybody tell you anything differently. And thank you for the great work that you do. We know we wouldn't be here without you. I have 3 daughters. And as I was getting ready to come out yesterday from Washington, D.C., my youngest daughter said, "Dad, I want to give you a piece of advice." And I said, "What's that?" She said, "There won't be a single person in that building that came there to hear you talk." She's right. I know that. I also know I'm the only thing standing between you and receiving your diploma. So I promise that I will try to be brief, because I know something else. You may not remember what I say today. You will remember if I take too long to say it. So I will adhere to the 3 B's of public speaking. Be positive, be wise, be seated. And I'm going to get through this very quickly. But it is a great day of celebration. It's a day to celebrate a monumental accomplishment. You heard the statistics earlier that you join an elite group of Americans and Nebraskans who will hold a college degree. But graduates, I also know how difficult the journey is, having done it myself, having done it as a first-generation college graduate. I know that I would not have gotten there if it weren't for the family and friends who helped me. So graduates, I'm going to give you a second to find your loved ones in this crowd and thank them for you being in that seat today. They deserve it. Let's give them a round of applause. As I stand before you today with this great honor of speaking at this commencement, with the great honor of having been a president of 3 institutions and now the president of a national association that represents 520 universities across the United States, I realize that just 2 generations ago, my grandparents did not finish the 8th grade and my father's father could not read or write. I realized that my parents didn't have the opportunity to attend college. And I know that all of these things that have been gifted to me in my life, in my professional career, are because I have a college degree. And so I want you to just take a moment today and over the course of the next few days to really let it sink in that your life is forever transformed for receiving this degree, and you can now do things that you never dreamed imaginable in your life. I think about Yogi Berra, the former catcher of the New York Yankees, who was as well known for his yogi-isms as he was for his baseball play, but he said, if you come to a fork in the road, take it. You can now take any direction you want to. College graduates have so many more opportunities. You heard the other statistics. You're less likely to be unemployed. You're less likely to have to rely on public support services. You're more likely to live longer. You're more likely to earn more, simply because you are a college graduate. But with that comes some responsibility. And so I want to give you 10 tips today for life, 10 tips for leaving here of what you should do. First of all, remember that your family is more important than your career. I had a mentor who called me once. I was a college president at 34 years old, and he called me and he said, Chuck, I became a president at 35. He said, I'm now 65. And he said, the people at the university where I was a president 30 years later don't even remember my name. But my children remember every dance recital and baseball game I missed. He said, don't be me. Remember that. You'll get to working, you'll have long hours, you'll be pushing, you'll be ambitious, but don't forget what's most important, and it's not that job. It's these people in this room today that love you and support you. Second tip, you define your career does not define you. Don't fall into the trap of thinking, oh, I'm a college president, therefore I have to look like, act like, talk like a certain way. I'm a little different. I rarely wear a necktie. If you see a necktie, check on me. I'm probably not well, right? I like to wear shorts. I like to wear flip-flops. I like to say ain't. I'm from Arkansas, okay? But I am who I am, and the greatest compliment that I'm ever given is that I'm genuine, or that I'm real, or I haven't forgotten where I came from. So remember, there's not a certain, I'll get people that'll say to me, you're a college president, you don't look like one. Now, I don't know what that means exactly, but that's okay, because I am the president. Remember, you define the career, it does not define you. Be who you are, be genuine, and be authentic. Third tip, it's always about people. Relationships matter. If you come to interview with me, I'm going to give you a tip. I'm going to make you sit an extra 10 minutes out in my lobby before I bring you into my office. And you want to know why? Because when you leave, I'm going to ask our front office receptionist, what do you think? And if you treated her differently than you did me because of the name on my door and the name on hers, I'm not hiring you. Because she plays as important a role in that entity as I do. So remember, it's always about people. I had another mentor that said, Chuck, you can be an expert on everything that's ever been invented, but if people don't like you, you're gonna have a hard time getting things done. You can likewise not know a whole lot about much of anything, and if people like you, you can get things accomplished. And that doesn't mean you have to make hard decisions, and people aren't gonna always be happy. But if they know that you're honest with them, and that you're real and you're genuine, and that you care about them, you'll have a better chance. So never forget that. People matter. Number 4, I have a painting in my office. It's a photograph of a basketball goal in an old gymnasium, not something nice like this, an older gym, and it says, it's a Wayne Gretzky quote, so a hockey quote, and it says, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. You're gonna fail. You're going to have things that don't go the way that you wanted to, and that's okay, because the only way you're gonna get to where you ultimately want to is by taking risks and taking chances in life. Michael Jordan, many consider to be the greatest NBA player of all time, missed more shots than he made in his NBA career. Walt Disney got fired. Oprah Winfrey got fired. Steve Jobs at Apple got fired. Guess what? They didn't give up. They took those shots. They made it to where they are. So remember that. You've got to take the shot before you can ever make the basket. Vote. Go vote. I know this is this area of the country, and this area has a lot of veterans. And I'm so thankful for putting their lives on the line and the services they provide for us every day. But that service is that so we can go vote and that we can make our voice heard. And we still only have 62.5% of Americans that go to the ballot. Don't be one of those 38% that don't go. Step up, do that right thing, vote the way you want to vote. I'm not telling you how to do it, just do it and reward those who've given you the wonderful opportunity to actually go to the polls in the first place. Number 6, have a firm handshake. This is important. Ladies, men, have a firm handshake. I want your handshake to be as firm as your hand would be if I tried to take your cell phone out of it. Right? It shows confidence, it shows strength, it shows I can do this. And it's important, and people take notice, so don't forget that. Number 7, write handwritten notes. There's this thing called handwriting. It's not texting, it's called handwriting. Y'all probably don't know how to write in cursive, so you can print. I don't think they teach cursive anymore. But a handwritten note still says so much more than a text does. It shows that you truly took the time to put down in writing your thoughts. I love nothing more than getting a thank you note. I love nothing more than getting something that just says, it mattered, it made a difference. Don't lose that art. It's not something we do a lot anymore. I buy a roll of stamps and I can probably keep those suckers for 20 years, right? But it matters. So write handwritten notes. It truly does say something about your sincerity. Number 8, pay attention. Only say online what you would say in person. We got a lot of folks get really brave at midnight in their living room on their laptop, right? If you're not going to say it in person, don't say it online. And remember that employers do their background checking. They look at your social media. And let me tell you something else. I don't care how many email addresses you have. But if you're sending a professional email, please don't send it from foxydaddy@gmail.com. Go get a new one, right? I'm as guilty as anybody about not using the best punctuation or all of that in texts and things. But there's one thing when you're talking to your friends and loved ones, and there's another one when you're talking to the professional. And one more thing, with having 3 daughters, I can send them a mile-long text about how much I love them and how proud of them I am and blah, blah, blah. KK. That's all I get, all right? Don't be like that. Number 9, this is something one of my daughters, who is in college right now, taught me. She's a social work major. She wants to be an adolescent mental health counselor. And she said, Dad, I want you to change your way of talking, and I want you to change from I have to I get to. I have to get up early. I have to go to church. I have to go to work. I get to get up early. I get to go to church. I get to go to work. Because not everybody has that blessing. So change your thinking a little bit from the I have to's to the I get to's. And I'm still struggling with it, but it's important. And I think it's something that when she said it really had a profound impact on me. And then number 10, kind of along the same lines, that I'm going to borrow from a Tim McGraw song, live like you are dying. Live every day as if you don't know if tomorrow will be there. Take this one opportunity we have in life and make the most of it. Take that trip. Eat that piece of pizza. Do those things that are going to make you happy. Because the biggest mistake you can make in life is thinking you have enough time. Trust me, I remember when 50 was really old. It ain't so old anymore, I can tell you. You know, you've been given an irrevocable gift of a college degree. Your job can be taken away from you. Your possessions can be taken away from you. Your health can be taken away from you. Your degree can never be taken away from you. It's the one thing in your life that will always be there regardless of the circumstances. So cherish it, celebrate it, use it, and make it count. You've been given an opportunity. You can change your life. You can change the trajectory of your children's lives, your family's life. You can change your state. You can change this nation, and you can change the world. That's what a college graduate does, and you're now a college graduate. Congratulations. We're very proud of you.